This is dope.
Yeah, it's
This is
kind
very
of nice.
dope.
So, AB, tell me what you think men need more of in terms of their health.
I think, if I'm thinking in terms of health, on a societal level, I think that what we miss out on is the trust. I think that's one of the things that has been really hard in the community of men, just because we've all kind of been raised in a survivalistic mindset. We all have like this survival mode we live in. And I think that just kind of plays into this idea that we kind of feel a little bit disposable. You know, I think that we live in this community where everybody's like, you kind of got to be useful or you're useless. And I think that falls heavily on the male side of things because, you know, we wish to be providers. We wish to be contributing in any way that we can. And so wrapping it all the way around, going back to that trust factor, if we don't have trust, period, or we've never been taught that level of trust, then how can we build community? How can we effectively know that we're more than what we can do, that we're actually important just in general?
Wow, disposable is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that is crazy. I feel like, I think for me, that doesn't even cross my mind, but I also understand how that could feel. I understand, well, that's the whole point of this, is figuring out how to give you guys the space to know that you're not disposable, to know that we need to know what you want or how you can be helped. And but no, I understand that. I think it is a very like, if he don't provide or he don't do this and he don't do that, but the emotional aspect of, is he okay? Is his, you know what I'm saying? Is he okay? What does he want? What do they want to bring to society? And not just in terms of like relationships or to a woman, but more so like, what do they want to build? What do they want for themselves and things like that? So
I think without the trust, it's really hard building that safety that we ask for, because at the end of the day, we want to provide. If we really, look, real men, and that's not to put no shade nowhere else, real men want to provide no matter what, in whatever way that we can. And I think that the problem is that we kind of like, I think every generation, there's a new way of how we need to provide. But again, when you got every generation living in the survival mindset, we're actually not giving each other the right tools because we're kind of fending for our own self. Again, and by doing that, we're building what we believe is being useful. But if you're the only one who got it figured out, what are we doing as a community? You know, I think the outroar that we have right now is just simply out the fact that I don't know if I can trust my fellow man, you know, because maybe he's only looking out for himself, or, you know, he's still battling whatever he's battling and it's not going to be as conducive as I want it to be, or just in general, anybody wanting it to be conducive. That safe space is really hard for men to just create for themselves, create for others. And I think that we do live in a world where it's just like, you got to figure it out. You know, because at the end of the day, we're going to protect women, we're going to protect the children, as we should. There's no argument to that. But I think that when that is the revolving goal, and there's no actual guidelines to what it means to commune and make sure that we actually have men who can work in that way, it's an obstacle. You know, we kind of just going in a circle, and the loop becomes what happens today. What is a man's role? What is a woman's role? And now we're talking about what we don't like versus talking about, well, what can work? I know you don't like that, but what would you like? And that'd be a healthy conversation. But even with men, it's like, hey, you're angry. I don't want to be offended. So are you okay? Why is there not more conversations like that? But we don't have protection to have those conversations. There's a better chance somebody's gonna be like, you gay, you know? And not to be like that, but that's just the nature of it. It's like, the feelings turn into a joke because, you know, just as a black man, that's just kind of like our fellowsuit when it comes to trauma. But at the end of the day, I think that that's what the climate is. It's like when it's hard to really face, you kind of lean on something else to kind of mask it. And then again, we're just going back into the same loop. Of just feeling unprotected, putting up performance just to be, just to exist. I think that's what it is. I think there's a pressure to it. The patriarchy doesn't make it any easy either. As much as we may benefit from it, it is the very thing that we kind of
makes it even harder. Yeah.
Because it defines a man, at least as we're looking at it from a societal POV.
So tell me, how has creativity benefited your health?
I guess it kind of just made me step out. It gave me a reason to not only like trust myself and my ability to do something, but trust my environment outside of myself. I have a really big family, so me having to lean outward was not something I had to practice. Also, growing up in a family where, you know, it was a learn how to shut up kind of situation, like learn like just learn how to keep things tight, tucked, you know, do what you gotta do, move how you need to move, but don't be, you know, doing too much as far as like, just holding things close to your chest, essentially what I'm saying. So with this, it was like, all right, well, I wanna build a network. I wanna see what that feels like, because I was a business major. I think I was generally good with people because I learned against what I had learned, just in a sense of like, I learned what better to do based on what was happening to me. So I just took my communication skills and I applied it to my creative world, where it was just like, if I trust myself, then I can trust my environment. So let me see what my environment can do for me. And I mean that in like, not a use them way, but just in like a, I want to see what I can do with the world. So I think that being in a creative field, it just taught me more how to identify with myself and how to identify with community and just being a part of something larger than myself. Being in a creative world, again, it built my network to a very much more, I guess, substantial degree based on me just having to lean on my family and things like that. But yeah, no, it feels like it's just me, like the core of me exists this way. Like, I like spreading out love, I like spreading out energy, I love collaborating, I love people feeling good about themselves. I like feeling good about myself. And I think that when it comes to the creative field, there's so much emotion and so much intentionality behind what people want to produce. It's kind of like the way that we understand each other, or an element of how we understand each other. So it was hard to see it. It was hard to not see it being something beneficial to me, just all around.
That was good. Good job. What do you think, or what do you want to do going forward to create impact?
Oh, it's so hard to say now.
It's okay.
I think that the way that I want to make an impact is creating an impact on myself. I'm very much what I would describe living in a self-full era, where I want to create communities for everything that I care about. Again, whether that be financial group, men group, workout groups, anything that I find like extreme interest in, or just anything that I feel like I can provide or be provided information. And in my efforts of that, I want to connect those communities, because I feel like, again, when I'm walking with this confidence of trusting myself, I trust those I'm around, and I want people to know that you can trust them. And so I want to bring these communities together, not based on similarities and differences. It's no, we actually care about community, and that's the baseline of what we do. You know, so we can create a safe space with differences while also finding those similarities to build off of. And that's my goal.
I like that. I like that.
That
was good. What you said about still building a safe space even with the differences. Because I don't think it is a safe space if you can't have it when there are differences. There's no way. Because if everybody is like on the same accord, then I mean, of course it's gonna be a safe space, because none of y'all are not saying beefing, but you know, like,
nobody feels threatened.
There's no friction, there's no tension, there's no stretch of like your character of who you are to be able to understand another perspective. And that is necessary in community, because that's necessary to genuinely care about the person or the people in the community. So yeah, I like that.
Gotta stand on trust, and then community comes next. If it gotta go the other way around, I just want to be the person who's operating in that space to make sure of it. That's
That's it.
That's a rap.
Shoot, we can even put the clap in there too.
No, facts. I'm glad that we make it happen. It's really hard to get people together. You know, you really got to put some trust into that. Do you trust yourself?